Welcome to We're Talking Bears, the show where uncle, nephew, and son bring you the latest in the Chicago Bears experience. I'm Uncle.
I'm son.
Hey, and here we go, man. Look, 6 wins,
You didn't
3
say it.
losses.
You didn't say it. You
Dude.
was like I'm uncle. I was like I'm son, and you didn't say. And we're talking Bears.
Oh, because that was nephew's job.
All
You
right.
know.
Let's go.
All right. So,
That's
Yeah.
cool. It's cool. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
Hey, but 6-3.
Yup.
6-3.
Yeah. A lot of people, me included, did not expect for the first half of the first year of Ben Johnson's tenure to go so smoothly. So, honestly, they got it done again in tough fashion. I don't know if we won that game if Jackson Dart isn't in the with a concussion for the second half, for most of the second half. They brought in Russell Wilson in the third. He wasn't able to move the offense the same way Dart was under center. So honestly, that was luck for us. We got out of there by the skin of our teeth.
Here's another beautiful thing. Somehow the Packers lost.
Somehow. What do you mean?
Somehow.
What do you mean somehow? Packers have lost now to the Panthers, the Browns, and tied with the Cowboys. 3 of the worst teams in the league this year. So what do you mean somehow? I'm not impressed by the Packers in any phase of the game.
Hey, all I'm saying is from the standpoint that the Pack was, for a moment they were on top of the NFC. For a moment, they destroyed the Lions. That's how they began, right? Mm-hmm. And now they've got a couple of signature losses. I call those signature losses.
Yeah.
And now, the signature win is way in the mirror. So, when people were talking about the Bears should be involved in that $50 million a year defensive end, I'm not arguing he would have made us a better team. I'm not even going to argue that. That's a stupid argument. But, does that make a better locker room? Does that, is that a long-term solution? Does that foil your financials for a long time?
I think we're uniquely qualified to speak on this because when we picked up Khalil Mack for largely the same price, paid him largely the same percentage of our salary cap, and then thought that would make us instant contenders, thought that we were just a defensive piece away. We learned our lesson the hard way, didn't we?
Well, see, I disagree with you. I think that was on that year, it was a magical year. It was Trubisky made a Pro Bowl. He had his best year of his career. Howard was running like crazy. I think he had like 1,300 on the ground. And the defense was parallel with some of the greatest defenses of all time, which include 2 Bears defenses. So the problem was throughout the season, we knew that our kicker could go on a multi-game missing streak, and we didn't replace him.
If we replace, it's Cody Parkey. Cool.
Yeah, if we replace Cody Parkey, we beat the Eagles. Or if we kept Gold, but that's a whole nother argument. But if we replace Cody Parkey, we beat the Eagles. We had already dissected the Rams. The Rams had the best offense in the league, and they only scored 3 points a half on us. We had dissected the Rams. We would have dissected them. We would have beat them in the playoffs, I believe. So I'm not saying we would have won the Super Bowl. But if you get to the Super Bowl, you made the right moves. But we didn't. It wasn't the Khalil Mack move that was the problem. Now, what did the Khalil Mack move mean? Because we ended up by not getting anywhere with that. Then following that up, running down the line, a mistake, not just the Khalil Mack move, but a lot of mistakes thereafter and horrible finances. We ended up broke, unable to hire free agents, and without draft picks. So if they don't win this year, they're burying themselves for a while. That's just the truth, because unless the salary cap continues to spin crazily out of control, this is gonna cost them financially,
and
and they're going to be cap casualties on their team.
They seem to be of the opinion that the revenue and the salary cap is just going to keep going up, because that's the trend that has been on. Because as we know, the more TV revenue the NFL generates, the more salary cap there is to split between NFL teams. So that's how the cap has continued to go up for so long. But what they don't seem to recognize and don't seem to realize is there have been years where the salary cap has not gone up, and it's generally tied to the general finance and the economic issues of the United States as a whole. Because when COVID happened, a lot of teams had quite a lot of cap trouble. The Saints stand out as one that they're always in a bad situation on the cap, and they're always trying to push money into the future. And we could be running up against them with stuff like that real soon. So it might really come to bite them, and we might see some issues with that spending strategy that so many teams are adopting. The Eagles being one of them, the Packers being one of them. They've paid Jordan Love $250 million. Now they're paying Micah Parsons $200 million. They've got a lot of offensive linemen that are under contract. We'll see. We'll see how that works out for them.
We will see how it works out. And again, all the respect in the world for Micah Parsons and his ability. At the same time, if I'm going to pay $50 million for a lineman, it's going to be Myles Garrett.
I mean, because Myles Garrett wasn't available. So
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, if I'm doling out that much money, I want the absolute best guy in the business who actually can wreck a game. I'm not saying that when I say wreck a game, I mean any game, any team, he can take over. That guy goes off and gets 3 or 4 sacks. Boom.
I mean, see, that's the problem with pass rushers, though, because if they don't appear in that game, you lose.
Yeah. Well, that's the key.
If they can't step up, they can't beat a lineman. Like we saw how Darnell Wright's been playing. You know what I mean? Like I'm not really worried about going up against a top pass rusher when our line has been playing the way it has.
Did you see the play?
Been fantastic. Or we just threw Brian Burns to the ground?
Did you one-handed?
Just trying to spin? No, sir. No, sir. It was beautiful.
Oh,
and
man,
unfortunately, the rest of the line did not have the same level of success on that play.
No.
But I think Caleb made something out of it anyway. But
when you have that level of dominance, that reminds me of some of the Reggie White plays on the other side of the ball, where he would just do something ridiculous, like when he swiped the guy. It's just like nobody does that. Darnell Wright is coming into his own. Nobody takes a full edge rusher by one hand and slams him to the ground.
Not even just a edge rusher, one of the best in the league. He had like 7-8 sacks coming into this week, and we blanked him.
Not in this game. We not only blanked him, we embarrassed him, man. In the film room, that's going to come up. Both teams.
They playing that one.
He's going to have to look at that in the film room and be like, I was embarrassed. That's an embarrassment that some really bad linemen have never experieed. That was tough. That's as embarrassing as last week when Austin Booker one-handed the left tackle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he one-handed, oh boy. Wow, what is up? Our guys are one-handed dudes, man.
Yeah, and I saw Austin Booker got in there again this week.
Man.
He had some really good splash plays this week. I think he had
a
big TFL. Correct me if I'm wrong on that sack, though. I could have sworn
I don't think they gave him credit for a sack. I think there was something weird that caused them not to get credit for that sack.
Okay. It might have been like
I'm not sure why. I don't remember specifically, but there's something weird, and it's not on the stat line.
Yeah.
But when you talk about sacks, I mean, Montez Sweat is leading the Bears in sacks with 5.5. He should be.
Mm-hmm.
We
Oh yeah,
paid him to
absolutely.
be.
Yeah.
We paid him to be. But C.J. Gardner Johnson, oh my gosh, is he playing game record? 3 sacks, 3 tackles for a loss, and a forced fumble in 2 games. And
Yeah,
I mean,
he's playing
without
that
him, we
nickel role.
probably don't win either of those games because they're close. And
Yeah.
his stuff is so timely.
He's playing that nickel role now that Kyler Gordon is out. Nickel and safety, kind of rotating between those. That's kind of what he was best at when he was with the Lions. And then he played kind of a similar role, I think, with the Eagles. But he was a little more coverage, a little more drop back. Playing with
what do we do when Gordon and JJ are back? I mean, how do we
the same thing we've been doing?
He needs to be on that field. We put him on the
other
side.
We're rotating him in. He's not in every play.
Well, yeah,
and I would assume that Gordon would play nickel on nickel downs, for some of it. But if we want him to keep healthy, I would think that Gordon would bump to the outside, if we don't have one of our starting corners out there, and we could let.
I like that idea, bump
and bang inside. But Gordon is by far better playing nickel than outside corner. But I don't think there's any issue with him. I think he could do it. But on first down, second down, whatever, when you got base defenses out there and there's no nickel, then
when everybody's healthy, we have 4 starting corners for 3 starting jobs.
We do.
We're going to have a tough time deciding somebody is not going to start. Is it?
I don't think it's going to be a tough decision at all.
That's not the definition of a tough decision.
No, I don't think. I think Gardner comes off the bench. I think our top 3 corners are Stevenson, JJ, and Kyler. I don't think that's really a question. The way I see it is,
I want to see Gardner get at least 50% of the snaps.
Well, he's gonna rotate in. He's gonna rotate in. I think so. Here's the thing: Stevenson has filled in as the number 1 corner. He's done an okay job.
A good job.
He's done an okay job. I wouldn't say he's done a good job. I think he's done an okay job. There have been a lot of holes in our coverage. There's been a lot of big play. Like Cincinnati set a passing record on us for like Joe Burrow's like total yards and
Jackson Dart tore us up.
Passing yards on us. It was like 470 pass yards. Yeah, Jackson Dart, a rookie, was just throwing all over us.
What did Dart have? Dart had 242 pass yards before we took him out. And the defense took him out. The boy tried to run, and he thought, I'm just going to run in the middle of this defense, and I'm not going to slide.
Mm-hmm.
You should have slid, because you know what? You should have slid. You'd have played the rest of the game.
He was getting away with it, and he got crunched. So what I'm saying, though, about the secondary is this.
We can improve.
Do we know for certain that when we get JJ back and when we get Kyler back, the problems are fixed?
No, we don't know that for certain. I believe, though, we are substantially better.
Yeah. I think it'll help quite a lot because JJ is a fantastic player. He takes away an entire side of the field. Like, you don't want to throw it that way. It's either getting knocked down or picked, or your receiver's just not going to be where you think he is, and you're going to be looking for him. You're going to be like, where is this guy? And JJ's like jamming him and bumping him all the way off the field. So, like, I really expect our defense and our secondary to improve, but we don't get to the quarterback quickly at all.
We're doing substantially better. I agree. It's not fast,
but we're like one of the slowest teams to get to the quarterback. Like, I haven't pulled the stats on this, but time to pressure for us, I'm guaranteeing you, is horrible. Just from the eye test, it takes us a long time to force the quarterback off of his spot to find our way to him without sending the house. And Dennis Allen, credit to him, he's blitzing very creatively. A lot of corner blitzes, a lot of safety blitzes.
And they're getting home.
And those are working, and that's when we get sacks and pressure and whatever when we send the house, which is great that we can be effective blitzing. Effective blitzers, huge importance for the team. But in terms of just like our front four rushing, it's not good. It's not good.
I mean, Dexter and Sweat should if they do the same thing in the second half they did in the first half. Sweat will have double-digit sacks, and Dexter will be at 8, which is fantastic for a tackle. But it's after that.
We can put up a few sacks, which is fine. Like that's what you need. Like I said, like it's not so dire that like we can't ever get to the quarterback. I'm just saying that there's a lot of time for them to read the field and attack our corners, no matter who's out there. NFL.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm basically saying that you got 2 guys on the defensive line that can reasonably consistently pressure and get to the quarterback.
Yes, agree.
You don't need a great offensive line. You need 2 good linemen on the offensive line to cause us a big problem rushing your quarterback. 2, that's it. You need a good tackle and a good guard. And you know, if you have a good tackle and a good guard, we have to scheme. You know, which that's, you know, specifically you have a good right tackle. If you have a good right tackle and a good guard, you can control us. And that's the problem. We need you know, one, I want to see
Booker
has
shown that he's got some pass rushing chops on the other side. So he can put some pressure on that left tackle in a way that we haven't seen Dio or Marcus Robinson or whoever. I said Marcus Robinson. Wow, that's
nope. Dominique
Robinson. Yeah, in a way that we haven't seen those guys really be able to pressure. So Austin Booker coming back from injury has been a huge help on the D line. But the concern is still there. I saw today that our defense has given up more points than our offense has scored on the season, which is not where you want to be. That means we're winning a lot of very close games.
We got blown out by 30-something points. And then everything else has been close.
Yeah, we've won a lot of very close games, which is good that we're winning those games. That's a positive thing. But
that's growth. We were losing those games.
Yes. Oh, yes. I know. I'm well aware. I was watching. But long story short, that's something that we got to clean up. It's just not acceptable to be giving up this many points. It's like 260 something points on the season, which is just like
247.
247. Okay. 247.
So we're giving up almost 28 points a game. Almost 30.
That's nuts. That's pretty nuts. Like
you're asking a lot of your offense.
You're asking a ton of the offense. So I really want us to get some guys back off injury. We've got a few. We need more. You know, Kyler came back for like 2 seconds and then was right back down. I really want to see us take that next step and find some consistency in that pass rush, because I think that front line, that front 7 is the key to slowing down these offenses, because we're just not getting home quick enough in order to discourage them from taking, 3rd and 20s, which is a ridiculous thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, you
shouldn't.
I mean, one of the things I used to say, man, I used to look at corners and be like, you have to cover for 2.5 seconds. You cannot.
Yes, absolutely.
You have to cover. It's like it's physically impossible to get to the quarterback in less than 2 seconds. Like no blocking there at all. You're not going to make it there in 2 seconds. It's like, unless you're an Olympic sprinter, you're not getting there in 2 seconds. And all the guy has to do is step to the side. And so you literally have to cover for 2.5 seconds. And, if you want to give coverage sack, I don't think we've gotten a coverage sack, maybe one this year. Either our guys get home or
it's a big
the
play.
pass is delivered.
Or it's a big play. And it's not like short passes. It's not like, oh, they got 3 yards with this one.
No.
It'd be like 27 yards.
These guys are deep in their routes.
They're gashing us. They're gashing.
They're college football wide open.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I get it. I get it. We got some guys that literally were not on rosters to start the season that are starting for us. Like,
right.
It's
CJ, we were lucky he wasn't on a roster because I mean he's clearly shown us he belonged on a roster.
He got cut from Houston, and CJ has been, like I said when we picked him up, more of a locker room problem than like an on the field problem. He was with the Texans this year, and they let him go.
Yeah, and look, the Texans are 4-5, and I can straight up say with a straight face that we don't have CJ. We lose the last 2 games.
Yeah,
because he had critical.
Well, the Texans lost a lot of games to start the season, and they've been more on a roll the last few weeks. But
now they're on a 1-game win streak.
Yeah, but they've been playing better, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they've been playing better the last few weeks.
Yeah,
but
it may be too late. It may be too late. You know,
I don't think it's too late. That's a wide open division if there ever was one.
But the Colts are 8-2. They're not taking that division.
No, they're not taking the division. But like the rest of that team or the rest of that division is not good. So they can very easily claw their way back from.
Well, there's a lot of reasonable. The Chargers are going to get a wild card. The Bills are going to get a wild card.
Well, the Bills have been shouldn't have been. So I don't know how you lose to Miami. That's
yeah, but you know they just beat Kansas City. They're up and down. I didn't say they're going to do anything with the wild card, but they'll make it. I'm pretty confident. So then you've got 2 wild cards up. I mean, you got really 1 wild card up for grab that Houston's going to be fighting with everybody else for.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm just saying they're not out of it. They're not out of it by any means.
Yeah, no, it's not over. But I mean, they can. They're a losing team right now in a conference where 2 teams are 800.
Mm-hmm.
They got some scrapping. But now, let's celebrate for a moment. The Packers are 5-3-1, and we're 6-3. We're all right. Yeah. We're a half game ahead of them. But it's almost like being a full game ahead of them because they literally have to win and they have to beat us to get in.
We got to beat them is really
if we tie with them, if we split with them, we stay ahead of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to. I know Ben Johnson's looking. I mean, first of all, Ben Johnson's very familiar with the Pack, but aside from that, his team has to be looking at the film of how they lost the games they lost. Because I mean, statistically, people are saying, "Oh, this may be this is the favorite to win the Super Bowl." You can't beat the Browns.
Yeah, that's
you almost got whipped by the Bengals. So did we, but we're in there, man. The Lions had a tiebreaker, but we're tied with the Lions. But you're right. We have to turn this. We have to tighten up the coverage, and
we need to win these division games. We need to win,
and we need to win the division games. This division is too tight. We can't. We can't give.
We gotta take them out. We gotta put the baby out with the bathwater with the Vikings. We gotta take them down.
Yeah, we do. The Vikings, we have to take them out.
Yeah, we can't let them hang in here. We can't let them hang in here because we're gonna have them. We've got another game against the Lions and then 2 games against the Packers in almost 3 weeks. 2 games in 3 weeks.
It's almost. I think it's 4 weeks.
And then mixing Philly in there, and then we're mixing Philly in there. So
and the 49ers. The 49ers been playing ball, man. It's that
NFC
West
stretch of games. We can very easily fall on our face if we get too complacent. But Ben Johnson don't strike me as the type to get complacent. He don't even smile when his team win.
Hey, you remember that chant? You remember the chant?
Boy, which one?
Good, better, best.
Never let it rest till your good gets better and your better is best.
Right. You remember that from
I remember
kindergarten?
that. I remember that. Yeah. I don't think
I was
I'll
like,
ever
oh,
forget
he
that.
broke out the kindergarten chant.
That one's in there. That one's locked in. I'm not. Yeah.
Yep. So, man, I'm proud of what they're doing. I love it. Let's take a quick look at some of the different players over the course of the year. Like
Okay.
Caleb, 2,136 yards in the air. He is on pace for 4,000. I mean,
Yeah.
he set a goal for himself that he wants to be the Bears' first 4,000-yard passer, and he's in a position to do it. All he has to do is keep doing what he's been doing. He doesn't, and he hasn't been great. He's been great in moments, but he hasn't been great.
Yeah.
He's not like out here throwing for 400 yards in a game or three. You know what I mean? If he just keeps throwing, 250 a game, boom, he's got his 4,000 yards. He can even throw like 230 a game and get there. He's there, and that would be a record, and that would also put us in a position to finish up. Again, we got 8 games left. We have to at least finish these 4-4, at least get to 10-7. 10-7, 11-6, I think, is where we need to be to make the playoffs. Swift, 544 yards on the ground, looking very, very good. Manungai is right behind him with 390, and he's only had one start.
Yeah, he had that one big game against the Bengals, but he put up like 9 yards or something like that last week.
No, he wasn't that bad last week. It wasn't that bad. No. Manungai had on the ground. He had 28 yards on 7 carries, 4 yards a carry and a touch.
All right, that's not bad.
No, 4 yards a carry and a touch. I do that every week. We didn't run that much.
No, we did not. We did not.
We didn't run that much, and that's part of. Rome's got 559. He's on his way to 1,000-yard season. We need DJ to step up. I know DJ's not getting as many targets, but like that touchdown he dropped, you just got to catch that, man. You got to catch that. You catch that on that ball. You got to catch that.
Yeah.
You're in the end zone. You're DJ Moore. You getting paid $20 million a year to catch the ball. You got to catch that. That is not a drop.
He should have caught that. I don't put all of DJ's woes this season on him.
No.
Do I think he's playing at his absolute best? No. But I also feel like he's kind of drawing the short straw a lot in the targets.
Yeah, he is.
Throwing his way is not good balls, frankly. And the touchdown ball, yeah, cool. Bring that in. But as a receiver, man, when you're open a lot, you're not getting your passes in rhythm, when you're not getting those looks when you're open, it gets in your head. It checks you out a bit. And he's got to fight through that. He's got to lock in and make sure that when he does get those opportunities, he takes advantage. He takes full advantage.
Absolutely.
I still I'll fight anybody who says DJ is not the best receiver on this roster. He
is the best receiver on the roster. He is. Rome is taking advantage of DJ being out there, man. If DJ's not out there, Rome's numbers shrink.
Oh yeah, immediately. And here's the other thing. I think Luther Burden should be playing a lot more than he is. I don't know what's keeping him off the field, whether it's like not understanding the playbook the way that Ben Johnson wants him to understand it, or just not being in sync with Caleb, or not getting those opportunities yet because he's a rookie and he's got to kind of work his way up the depth chart or whatever. But look, man, Olamide Zaccheaus has played fairly well throughout the season.
Oh, you mean you mispronounced his name? Oh, drop the ball, Zaccheaus?
Okay, all right, that was terrible.
I had to do it.
Terrible, but the fact of the matter is, Zaccheaus really showed his ass a little bit last week. Like he should have been catching a lot more of those. Like, a couple of them were tough.
Yeah.
But it was like 4 or 5 drops, man, in one game. That's brutal.
It's
Almost
brutal.
lost.
But and you look at the ball that Loveland caught, that was a tough catch.
Great adjustment.
Oh man. Adjust, spin, and just drag it in with your fingertips. It's probably a little too much heat on that ball because that ball almost went through his hand.
It was a little too much heat on a lot of those passes. That's a whole nother topic. I'm not even coming to Caleb this week. I'm praising the young guy for being able to put us on his back and carry us in with that final drive. And you know what? Cool. He was
two drives in 4 minutes.
We probably had we had 7-8 drops on the game. We probably have 3 if Caleb modulates his heat a little bit.
Just to pinch, but at the same time, they've got to get used to catching it because guys like Favre, like Manny,
but when it's outside
the ball, man, you
when it's outside in the cold for one of the earliest cold games of the year, and your guys aren't catching it, you gotta take some off of it sometimes. Not all the time.
Here, let me argue.
You gotta fit it in the window, but you gotta be able to see this guy's got a step. Let me take just that much off and make sure that when he gets it, it stays in his hands. Like you've got.
I'm gonna argue against that in 2 ways. One, he's not that accurate, so don't take it off the ball because you might miss and throw a pick. Number 2. It's hard to pick that ball. You're not ready for the ball. You don't know when it's coming, and it's hot. And that was one of the reasons why the Packers were so tough under Favre in the cold in the winter. Because, like, he's throwing the ball 100 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, 60, 70 miles an hour, and it's freezing. And you're like, do I want to break my hands? Probably prefer to break the ball up with your fists than your fingers because it is the likelihood he broke a lot of fingers.
I'm sure he did. He did. That did not make him a more winning quarterback.
Well, okay. But they beat us.
What do we want to go for? Do we want to just be like, oh, this is the most impressive thing you could do is just throw the ball 700 miles an hour, or is the most impressive thing you could do complete the pass?
Well, I mean,
that's the more impressive thing to do is complete the tough pass. So be able to modulate, be able to use some touch, be able to know when you can take just a bit off and make sure that it's a completion. Because sometimes, man, we needed those. Sometimes we needed those.
Yeah. And no, I don't disagree.
We made up for it. He did some Superman stuff at the end. He was being crazy all game, not getting sacked, spinning out of everything, doing his little back step twist that he always does. But the fact
he could have been sacked a lot in that game.
Yeah, no, he was Houdini, but just a little bit. Slow down, just like that much. Just like that much, Caleb. I know you could do that. So
yep.
You'll get him next time. Just take your time. Each and every throw, see it, rip it, but rip it the right amount.
now defensively, Tremaine Edmonds, 80 total tackles, could on pace to hit 150 some odd tackles as a Bears middle linebacker. That is phenomenal. But 4 picks already.
Yeah.
I mean, Tremaine
Edmund is snagging them things.
Woo! He's
snagging
sizzling.
Them things.
He's sizzling.
That's what we're looking for. Getting a 6'4", super fast, super athletic middle linebacker who can make these diving, jumping, like crazy deflection picks. He's got hands to just catch it outright. Like that's what we paid money for to get him.
He's got a sack. He's got 3 tackles for loss, 8 pass defense.
And I said that earlier. I said that earlier in the year. He was going to hit his stride, and he's starting to. So I wasn't super worried when he didn't come out the gate super strong. No, but nobody on our defense did. So I think as he kind of settles in the system and understands his responsibility, he's just going to play more and more instinctually. We're going to see more and more of that. I have no doubts about Edmonds' ability in the middle of the field there. Like, he's
killing it, and he's playing off ball this year, right? They moved him over
I mean, you mean weak side?
Weak side.
Yeah, weak side. Weak side.
They moved him over because TJ was out for a while.
Yeah.
And Noah came in, and he wasn't ready to do. He didn't fit that job. So it actually was a great fit, and he is killing on the weak side. He's murdering.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the weak
He's
side,
got the speed and the range and the size to really just run with guys, and there's not a lot of guys that could do it like him. And before in Eberflus's system, we had him in the middle and asked him to just run that seam up the middle, which he did well. He did that really well too. But in this weak side role, I think he's doing good. He's able to just flow to the ball. The weak side linebacker isn't always responsible for taking on some of those tough blocks, so we don't have to worry about kind of just getting him caught up in the mud, and he could just use his athleticism to just make plays, and he's been doing that. We need to add him behind the line of scrimmage a little more. So that's going to come again as people are healthy and we get the right amount of balance to our defense, and we can really commit to the run just a bit more, because right now we really have to sell out for the pass, and that's just giving the extra yard before contact and give running backs another step to accelerate and all that. So that's what makes it tough right now. But I think as we start to get our guys back and we can put a little more pressure at the line of scrimmage, I think we'll do a little better there.
Yeah, and I mean, just defensively, we got to step it up. We got to step it up across the board.
That's the message. That's the message.
Yeah, we got to step it up across the board. Our run defense is not great, although it can be at moments. It's improved. There's a lot of bright lights, but like Ben Johnson has said, it's not a complete game. We haven't played a complete game. We, when you look at it, but we are doing the right thing. We're getting the sacks now. We're getting to the quarterback. We're getting the forced fumbles. We're picking the ball off. We got to keep doing those things and do a little bit better job of covering and stopping the run. I don't need you to do a fantastic job of covering and stopping the run when you're getting those things done. If you're getting to the quarterback and you're the best in the league at taking the ball away, continue that. Like that's more important. Taking that ball away, man. How many of these games have been salvaged by takeaways? That where
huge
we
takeaways.
Probably lose.
Huge takeaways. Yeah, that's where the defense, as much maligned as they've been in terms of allowing yardage and points, they have been able to take advantage when the offenses put the ball in danger. And that's not something that always happens. That's not something you can rely on and be like, oh, we're going to get this every week, because you're not.
No.
But we have been fortunate, I'll say, and skilled in terms of, all the picks Kevin Byers gotten in order to get a lot of these takeaways and a lot of these opportunities back for the offense. Now we got a tough stretch, like we were just talking about, coming up. We got the Vikings this week. The Vikings are probably the easiest game we're going to have for a while, because right after that is the Steelers. And the Steelers have been kind of hot.
They're a 500 team.
This is probably our last opportunity to beat on Aaron Rodgers. So I really want to see a dub here.
Yeah.
And then we got the Philadelphia Eagles right before we start a string of division games to start December. So,
and I think the Eagles, I mean, the pack proved the Eagles aren't that great. A lot of people have proven the Eagles are beatable. They were 10. Yeah, they're very beatable. But we need to go. We need to take the Vikings. That's our game. We got no business losing to them a second time. No. Again, the Steelers. The Steelers are a 5-4 team. They are not a great team. They barely beat the Jets at the beginning of the season, and even with that gimme by barely beating the Jets, they've had a lot of questionable losses and not great, not fantastic wins. They are very, very beatable team. But we can't get it. I don't think Ben Johnson is going to let the squad get in there and get enamored with Aaron Rodgers. We can't be enamored. Oh my God, Aaron's going to beat us. We know how to score and stop you from scoring at the end of the game. No more of this BS. So I think it's very possible we're 8-3 when we come up to this difficult range of games. We need to be. We need these next two games. We need 8-3 when we face the Eagles, the Packers, the Browns. We got the Browns. That should be 9-3. Eagles, Packers, Browns, Packers, 49ers, and Lions. So I'm going to say that means
it's a tough December.
It's a tough December, but honestly, to be a 10-win team, we need to beat the three teams we're supposed to beat. And we've been pretty consistent about being able to do that. And then we really just need one game out of that tough streak.
I don't want to settle for just a 10-win game. Team,
and I'm not settling for one.
Look, we're tied for first in the division right now.
Yeah.
Do we deserve to be right now based on the way that we've played?
Yes.
Probably.
Because wins count.
Probably not entirely. I will say this. We haven't been winning cleanly.
But look at Detroit.
A win is a win.
Let me argue with you. Look at Detroit got mopped up by Green Bay.
I'm not saying
Green Bay gets beaten by the Browns.
Yeah,
we do.
Hear me out.
Okay.
All I'm saying is, if we want to finish the season in first place for the division, the same situation that we found ourselves in now, we need to step up. We need to level up just a little bit. We need to play together. We need to have a little more cohesion from our defense and special teams to our offense to make sure that these games are executed just a little bit more tightly. Make sure that we're not blowing coverages. Make sure that we're hitting guys with catchable passes. Make sure that we don't drop touchdowns. Make sure that when we see a hole as a running back, we don't run somewhere else. So those are the differences that can make or break a season.
Let me throw something else in there.
I want to see us. Yeah, go ahead.
I think that, and here's my thing, because ever since we hired Ben Johnson, I've taken it like for years, for decades, since we built this podcast, I've always said like, hey, bottom line, the fans seem to know more than the coaches. Ever since we hired Ben Johnson, I said, wait a minute, that's probably not true anymore. That's substantially, he's proving that's not true.
Yeah.
There's a strong possibility that right now, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, and Colston Loveland are in his pocket. Like he's holding back 3 aces for the tough games. You know what I mean? Like these
have been tough games.
No. Hear me out. Because imagine, flip the script. Imagine if Caleb's allowed to use those guys a lot all year to get us to the same point. Let's say we're 6-3, but he's got no rhythm with the rest of the dudes on the team. He's not able to find these smaller, not as athletic guys as his top tier and physically biggest dudes. Save Rome, because he's always just clicked with Rome. Right now, he's so used to getting the ball to guys like Zacchaeus and the other guys on the team. If we open up the playbook and we've got a lot of plays that get the ball to Kmet, more plays that get the ball to Loveland, more plays that get the ball to DJ, we become way more scary because he already knows how to get the ball to. We're winning getting the ball to the rest of the dudes. That's all I'm saying.
Well, okay, that's a take. Sure, I'm sure he does have some plays dialed up for DJ that he wants to break loose, and when the game demands it, I'm certain he will deploy them. But man, we're like winning these games by the skin of our teeth. So if he's holding back, sir, maybe hold back a little less, because Like, man, you can't win the chess match by losing all your pieces.
I hear you. I hear you. But hopefully we'll see. Time will tell. But I trust him enough to say he's got a plan. There's no way we're gonna go into Detroit, Green Bay, and this week with the Vikings and not use our weapons or give up an easy game to the Steelers. We need to overwhelm those teams. And if we beat the Vikings, the Steelers, and the Browns, we're a 9. That puts us as a 9-win team. So that with that really, really tough block of games where we got to play the Eagles, the Pack twice, the Lions, and the 49ers. I mean, I trust them to get at least 2 of those as wins. So that puts us at 11. I'm rolling with an 11-win season. What do you feel at this point?
I would have to really sit down and break down the matchups because I feel like we can win all of those games. I feel like we could lose all of those games.
Don't say those words.
It depends on who's injured. It depends. Do we get Jalen back? Do we get Kyler back? It depends on, do we keep healthy for the rest of our team? All of our linemen, do they stay healthy? Do we have any setbacks in terms of any times that we'll say our quarterback's development isn't moving forward at the pace that it is now. So there's a million things that can go wrong in those games. It could be, Vegas got a line against us and, they want the Packers to win because that's their big name, whatever, and they got money on it. So, it's too close to call at the moment. And right now, I just want to go into each game with my eyes open and watch and see what I see. But right now, I like what I see. I like how resilient we've been. I like how tenacious. I like the turnovers. I like how our defense doesn't give up. I like how our offense is able to rally and recover over and over again when we lose those leads late in games. Those are the kinds of things that we haven't been able to do in the past. And it's clearly been the difference between us being a competitive team and us being a little bit worse than we are. So,
and think about this. One of the things, and I'm not one of those, man. You heard people saying Caleb was the next coming of Christ, and Caleb is, no, Caleb is okay, is pretty good. I will say his biggest thing, and I noticed this in the January whipping of the Packers, his ability to continue to increase his fight as the end of the game comes. He is a fourth quarter clutch dude. And again, I'm going to go back to our previous quarterback, love Justin Fields, but he is almost the exact opposite. Like Justin, game on the line, ball in his hands, is probably not going to happen. And he's still doing that out in New York because he's had it. Same situation. Caleb, for some reason, game on the line, ball in his hands, he's balling out. So
he's locking in.
With that, I'm Uncle.
I'm Son.
And we're talking Bears. For sure.
It takes you so long to click the